right. So you have to commit to yourself if you want to grow your business. Hi, y'all. Thanks so much for joining me. In less than 15 minutes, I'll be sharing with you 4 things that you can do to help yourself stay committed to your business. And I know it can be tough, so that's why I really wanted to share these 4 things. Like and share this value. Like and share this video if you get value from it. And if you're listening to this on the podcast, you can drop a heart in there. Really appreciate the support. So, hi, y'all. I'm Dr. P. I'm a strategic business coach, and I've been a school psychologist for about 10 years in K-12 schools in the U.S. And I've also served on professional organization committees. Hi. Thanks for joining me. Just saw you pop on down there, Alicia. So, I've been a school psychologist for about 10 years, and I've also served on professional organization committees at the national level, the state level, international level, and I've also been a part-time professor for a graduate psychology program at the master's level. So commitment is something that I've experienced myself, and I wanted to share with you a couple things that I have done that have helped me through, as well as some other things I've found some other entrepreneurs to be able to do so that we can grow our businesses, right? Because that quote I share is one that I believe in. I believe that you have to be committed to yourself so that you can then grow your business. And that can be very tough sometimes. It really can be. And I know that before starting my business, there were several goals and decisions that, I had to make. And it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy at all. One of those I remember was making the decision to become a school psychologist. And then the next big one was actually going after my doctorate. And for that one, I was working full time at the point in time when I'm making this decision of whether or not I wanted to do my doctorate, right? And I did several months of research, trying to look at my options, trying to make sure I did the best thing for me. And I thought that was going to be the hard part. But that wasn't the hard part, because I thought trying to figure out, okay, what exactly was the area I wanted to specialize in at the doctoral level, what that was going to look like, because I already had my school psychology experiences. So when I found industrial organizational psychology, I was like, yay, this is a great fit for me. I can add it on to what I'm already doing with my school psych degree in the school psychology in leadership. So this was really a good fit for me. Plus, too, it was aligning with what I saw for my future goals that I wanted to obtain in life. So I started a program, really excited about it. But did I mention I was working full-time? Yep, I was working full-time, and at the point in time, I was being able to get those opportunities, to get leadership opportunities within the organizations I was working in. So that's awesome, right? You're getting that professional growth, that career growth, personal growth as well. Then I was also living, I moved to 3 different states, 2 different countries, all the while still working full-time in each place I work, and also still continuing to do my doctorate. So there were times when I was like, oh my gosh, should I really continue with this? Because I'm getting these awesome opportunities and I'm growing. I'm still getting to utilize my training that I'm getting for my doctorate. Does this make any sense? So I had to really sit down and think about, why was I going for my doctorate in the first place, right? Because that had a big chunk to do with my decision. Then when there were those days when I forgot my reason why, I had some mentors who were not shy at reminding me as to why I said I wanted to be doing those things, right? And it really helped, because it's easy to become overwhelmed and tell yourself, hey, I don't want to do this. Because I've had those days when I went, I don't want to do this, maybe I shouldn't do this. Maybe I should take a leave of absence and just focus on developing my leadership skills within the organizations. But when I remembered my why, and when I was reminded of my why from my mentors, I was like, nope, I'm doing this for a reason, and I'm going to keep at it, even on those very, very long nights and those very, very long weekends. It's still hanging there, and I did what I needed to do. And it was awesome, because I was able to finish my doctorate and still was able to benefit from those leadership opportunities, right? And after finishing my doctorate, started applying for jobs, but then I wasn't really getting any jobs. I was actually getting denied. So I applied for all these jobs, still wasn't getting anything. And I was like, okay, maybe I shouldn't be doing this. So then I realized, you know what? If people can't see the value that I'm bringing, I'm just going to create my own business. So that's what I decided to do. I made that decision to have my own business. And I'm sure many of you have made that decision to have your own business, right? And you're like, oh my gosh, this is great, because you thought that was the hard part. Then little did we find out that when you go into having your own business, There's tons of stuff to do, and it is so easy to become overwhelmed. It is so easy because when you start a business, I know for me, I didn't really look into all the ins and outs of everything because I had my idea of what I wanted to do, and I'm like, yes, I'm going after that, and that's what I want to do, right? But when you started looking at that one idea and all the things that are connected to that one idea, and that list starts getting longer and longer and longer, because you are now building an organization, you're building a business. You're not putting an application and walking into somebody's business. You're doing your own. So you're creating all of those systems, all of those processes while still maintaining, your product or your service and developing that and growing that. So yeah, it can be a lot. Hey Doris, thanks for joining me, Doris. So there can be a lot that you have to be doing. And as you're doing it, it can become very tough to stay committed because you're faced with all of these many things that you have to be doing that you start thinking, oh my gosh, should I really continue in this? And I know for some of you, it could be that you had a turning point in life, or you probably sat down and you planned about the fact that, hey, I'm going to do these things, and then one day, when all these things are done, this is when I'm going to launch my business. Everybody starts a business differently. Regardless of how you started it. And there are tons of things that you have to do to get it up and running, to keep it growing too. Because getting it up and running is one part, but then we still have to keep it growing. We still have to keep that momentum going. And it can be tough. And that's when that commitment of, oh my gosh, should I keep doing this? And you're not alone. A lot of entrepreneurs go through this. You can research whoever's your favorite billionaire, millionaire entrepreneur, and you're going to see that some point in their life, they did have those doubts about whether or not they should continue. They did have those doubts about their commitment. And by the way, I actually did a video earlier this week on self-doubt. So if you're going through that self-doubt right now, feel free to check out that video. It has some really nice tips in there on how you can get away from those negative feelings associated with self-doubt. So with self-doubt comes that feeling of not wanting to be committed to the big task of actually having and growing your own business. So with these 4 things I want to share, these are 4 things, like I said, I have done, benefit from it, found them in articles on the Entrepreneur, and found them on website for Her Paper Route, and also from Dr. Stacia Pierce. And it made me smile because I realized, hey, I'm not alone in what actually worked out for me. These other people were sharing what worked out for them. So that's why I wanted to share these 4 with you. There are other things out there that people have done and people recommend, and they might be working for you, or these 4 might work for you. So here are these 4. First one is surround yourself with go-getters, with doers, with people who are successful, people who want to continue to be successful. Because when you do that, when you surround yourself with other successful people, it kind of rubs off on you. You want to be successful as well because you see how passionate they are, how committed they are, and then that rubs off on you. You're like, yeah, I feel it. I know I want to do this. I want to keep doing this, right? So that can be contagious when you have those people around you who are so committed to their success, because sometimes you might have family and friends who are not supporting us. And when we don't have that support, it's tough. It is so tough when you don't have that support in your personal life, right? And that self-doubt again creeps in. So when you surround yourself with positive people, people who are successful in business, that can also help to alleviate that lack of support from family and friends, and really help remind you that what you're doing is meaningful. Your business is a great idea and you can do it. And networking, collaborating, those are great ways where you can surround yourself with those go-getters and those success makers, right? Join a peer advisory board, join a networking group. And I'm not talking about just joining a group on Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. I'm talking about joining a group where people are actually talking to each other. They're actually discussing, brainstorming, sharing ideas, because that's how it's going to help you to really open up and feel that support from others, not just one of those groups that post every now and then and may never even have an online session. Those are not necessarily going to be beneficial. So that's the first one. The second one is break those big goals into smaller goals. And by that, I mean, yes, you probably have in your mind the revenue you want to make for this year. That is awesome. The number of clients you want to have, the number of customers, that is great. That is a great goal. Those are great goals to have. Got to add a little bit more to make it a specific goal, But those are great goals to have. But here's the thing. What are the small steps that you need to put in place to get to those goals? Because when you focus on that big goal, oh, I want to have $500,000 in revenue. I want to have 15 new clients this year, 50 new clients this year. Whatever is the thing that you are saying you want to accomplish this year, and you're focusing on it. And right now, in here and now, you're like, oh, it's already February and I still don't have anybody. I'm not going to be able to meet those goals that I set out for myself. But think about what has to be done to help you to reach that big goal. And then focus on those small things and then track them. Don't just focus on them, track them. Put actions into place and track how you're doing towards those goals. So that way you can see that progress that you're making. So in 6 months' time, you can look back and you can see what you have done to get you towards that goal. Because again, with success comes duplication and strategies. So there could be some strategies that you're going to be putting into place to meet this goal that can be beneficial for you to put into place to reach other goals. So break those big goals into small ones and track the progress that you're making as you make that progress and take those actions on those goals. So that's 2. The third one is automate and delegate. Because here's the thing, tons of things we got to do as entrepreneurs, right? Yes, but we don't have to do everything ourselves. So you have to look at your situation and make a decision as to what can you delegate and what can you automate. And along with that, look at what you have to do and make a decision as to where do you see yourself spend the majority of your time. Where is your time, as in you, the entrepreneur, well, that's me, but as you, the entrepreneur, where do you see yourself spend the majority of your time to help your business? And those are the things that you should be focusing on. For all those other things on that list that did not make the cut for what you should be focusing on, those are the things you should be looking at for automation and delegation. Because you want to make sure you take your time and you're using your time meaningfully to grow your business. But there's some other things where the systems and processes are concerned that you can automate and delegate to others, right? Because again, that can help you stay committed because you're going to be less overwhelmed with having to do everything yourself. But you also need to keep track of the things you automate and delegate too. And that's a little easier than doing yourself. But don't just automate them and delegate. You also have to make sure they're getting done as well. So which brings me to the 4th thing you can do to help you stay committed to your business. And that one is get a mentor or get a coach. And with a mentor, that person is going to share the lessons they've learned in that industry and just share with you probably some ideas on what they have done and what worked for them. With the coach is going to share with you some strategies based on your situation to help you to become unstuck and to show you what you can do to continue moving forward and staying committed to yourself and to your business. Some people might actually have a mentor as well as a coach, or the coach might share some mentoring tactics with you, but the coach is really going to be focused on those solutions of getting you forward and getting you unstuck and showing you what you can do to continue moving forward. Because the thing is that if your commitment is starting to fade, it could be too that you have hit a brick wall, you're feeling a little stuck in what you're doing. Those could be reasons why your commitment is starting to fail, as well as lack of support from family and friends. But by doing these things, this can help reignite your passion for why you started your business and to help you keep moving forward and taking those actions. And with the coach is going to hold you accountable. Don't get me wrong, the coach is going to hold you accountable for the actions you said you wanted to take so you can move your business forward. Because the coach is going to help you outline that plan based on the needs that you have right now and based on what you want to have, what do you actually want to get accomplished. So again, if you're feeling that commitment starting to fade, look at these 4 things. Do one of them so that you can continue building your business. Don't become one of those businesses, one of those 50% that fail by their 5th year. You want to be part of that group, that 30% that makes it to 10 years. That's where you want to be. So don't give up on your business. Stay committed to it. I know it's hard. I know it's tough sometimes. But remember, we got some good times when we're doing our businesses, right? We learn a lot of things, we meet awesome people, and we continue moving forward. So remember those 4 things and try, like I said, at least one of them. so that you can be committed to yourself. So thanks so much for joining me. Remember, solutions plus actions equals results. Until next time, bye y'all.